Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hey Blessing. Today is a very important question I get from a lot of people, especially from people who are tired of overthinking. So, Blessing, I want to start a business, but I have so many ideas. What should I actually start? Let's break it down together. Okay, so let's talk about this. A lot of people want to start businesses, but they don't know exactly where to start from. And it's a question I get a lot of times. Should I do this or should I do that? Or there are so many people doing the same thing. So will it work for me if I do this? And I want you to understand that people are not lazy. They are just overwhelmed with choices and with ideas. And sometimes we also think that a lot of people are doing the same thing. So if we go in, we will get stuck or we'll get drowned out in the noise. And also starting a business that fails is really stressful because you lose time, you lose money, you lose energy, but you learn so much from it, of course. So it's really understandable that a lot of people will feel this way. So some of you may feel like, there are so many ideas, just pick one and start. But that is not exactly the way to do it. You have to really understand if this business idea is right for you. So I'm just going to tell you how I decided to go into the hair business and also the other businesses that I have done along the way. The hair business, it actually wasn't a deep story or a deep, passionate thing I felt about. Definitely, I like hair a lot. I'll definitely like to wear a wig or hair bundles as opposed to braids and stuff like that. So, and also when I meet people for the first time, or when I meet people, the first thing I notice is their hair. So, it got to a time I was just looking for an extra source of income, and then I was having a conversation with my boyfriend at that time, who is now my husband, and we were thinking about either me going into bead making or fashion. And I realized that all those other things sounded like too much work. And I was really determined to start something. So I was like, okay, let me start here. So for someone like me, when I think of something, I do it quick. So that's how I got into the hair business. And along the line, I started a grocery business, American groceries. So that as well, it wasn't a very deep thinking of complicated passion thing. It was just me having a conversation with a friend who had moved to the US, and I was just thinking of a business that I could do immediately because I could benefit from he being there. And I just felt like groceries are the quickest thing to bring. They don't need so much costs. I didn't factor the other things like the shipping and all those things into it. So after a while, those things were not working out. I would receive the goods really late and they would lose their quality. So that business failed. And another business I started was TBD, the business of your dreams. So that business now stemmed from passion because I realized I had a deep passion for talking about business, sharing business experiences. And I also find myself listening to business podcasts and just always drawn to the idea of growing something out of nothing. So that is how I started that business because I realized I also have the gift of giving people business advice when they need it or the right business advice when they need it. So that's why I got into that business. Starting a business or getting a business idea, a lot of people can tell you to go into cement because that is how Dangote became the richest man in Africa. They can tell you to go into cars because that's how Elon Musk became the richest man in the world. They can tell you to go into tech because that's how a lot of people are becoming rich. But we don't talk about the number of people who fail, number of people who go into these businesses and fail. We only talk about the success stories. A business idea generally means nothing if it's not executed well. That's the first thing. It means nothing at all if it's not executed well. And also, don't feel overwhelmed by so many ideas. So, I'm going to show you how you can draw out a business idea or at least the one you should dabble in and research first and see which one works for you. Okay, so I'm going to take you through 5 simple filters for choosing the right business. So the first filter is interest or skill. Do you care and can you deliver? So let's talk about it. What are you interested in? If you had to start a business in, let's say, machinery or like mechanic or like just any business you can think of, do you have the remotest interest in it? Let me give you an example. Even though I started by making wigs, I don't think I was interested in making the wigs at all. It's not something I was really interested in. So as soon as I hired hairstylists, I just dumped it because I felt like it wasn't my passion. I wasn't interested in sitting down to do people's hair. And because I wasn't interested in it, I wasn't pursuing the skill. I wasn't advancing. So I would just like learn something, but I wouldn't practice enough to get well at it. So if you don't have the interest in a particular business and you decide to invest your money, your time, your efforts into it, there's a higher chance that that business may not work out because you will lose interest in it when it's not going your way or when it's not going the way it's supposed to go. So having an interest and skill, like being good at it, is also really important, of course. And it doesn't mean if you're not good at it at the beginning, you can't get better, of course. By learning, by practicing, you can get better. But you definitely need to have a bit of interest in it in order to go all in when it comes to research, go all in when it comes to improving your skills as well. The second filter for choosing a business idea is the market demand. Do people want it? You cannot sell to yourself. So most of the time, people start businesses because they want to they want to buy. They feel like this thing, I need it and it's not there. So I'm going to start selling it. But have you looked around you? Are people interested in the business you are going to do? If you start selling perfumes in a place where there are about 1,000 perfumes in every store around, what would make yours different? Why would people buy from you? Is there a market demand for it? Because business is all about supply and demand, right? So we always want to balance these things out. We always want supply to match the demand. If there's a very low demand and you stock a lot of these items, nobody is going to buy, and they are going to be there. They are going to rot in your warehouse. If there's a really high demand and you are not able to meet the demand, your customers will end up going to other businesses who can meet that demand. So you really need to do your research and understand what works well in the area around you. So, for example, there are some businesses that, oh yeah, this is a perfect example. When I came here, when I moved to Denmark, I mainly wanted to start selling wigs. And I wanted to start selling wigs the way I was selling it in Ghana. But I quickly learned my lesson. I learned my lesson really quickly because over here, there are 80% of people here who don't wear wigs. 80% of the people in this country are Caucasians. They don't wear wigs. So why am I focusing on selling something that there is very little demand for? So I quickly realized that people were not really interested in what I had to offer from Ghana or my marketing style from Ghana. And also, I was also trying to do the same thing, exactly the same way I was doing in Ghana. And it wasn't working out well here because there wasn't any market demand or there wasn't enough market demand for it. Because people felt like, why do they need to spend all that money to buy from me when they can buy the same thing on AliExpress? They can buy the same thing on Shein. So, yes, so what I'm trying to say is, if there's a very low demand for it, just know that it's more likely that that business idea may not work out. Okay. So the third filter you should really look at is the profit potential. Can you price it well? So that's something else you need to consider. If you are going to sell groceries, perfect, a perfect example. So when I was selling groceries, I had to do a lot of market research. I was comparing with other vendors. But what I realized was we were not able to price accurately and make enough profit because, first of all, the items will spend 2 months in transit before getting to Ghana. They'll come to Ghana and they are not enough. So already the price or the profit margin or the shipping cost I'm even spending is not justified because I cannot put enough profit on these items to be able to continually run the business and pay for marketing, pay for staff. So that business was just heading towards failure and quickly it failed. I lost a lot of money from that business because I didn't look at the profitability of the business in relation to other things that were involved, like the expenses and stuff like that. So it's really, really key for you to look at how profitable your business is going to be. Because if you don't look at that and you enter a business that is not going to make money, see, just understand that your business is going to waste your money, your time, and your efforts. So the fourth filter is access and ease. Can you actually do this now? So let's say you are a 9 to 5 worker, you have a regular job or a full-time job, and you want to enter or you want to start a business that demands a lot of your time and your efforts. Can you do it now? And how can you even do it? Do you have to sacrifice something to be able to do it? If you had to do it, do you need to hire people to do it? And even if you had to sell something in particular, do you have access to that thing? Let's say you want to start a business selling something from China. How much access do you have to that thing? And are you going to be assured of consistent access to that thing? So access and ease is what you really need to consider. If you're not going to get your items or it looks like you're going to get it, like what happened to me in my grocery business, the first stock came in really late. That was a red flag. I should have known before investing more money into it. So it was really hard to access the product because by the time they get to Ghana, they have expired. So that was a huge problem for me. It was really hard to have access to the products consistently, right? And also, it wasn't easy because even though I was running the business, I didn't have enough time to run it the way I would normally run startups. So I had to now hand over the entire business to someone else who mismanaged it as well. So it's really important for you to look at your access and your ease of managing the business before you start. And finally, you need to look at sustainability. Can you grow it over time? So I always say that a business where you need to exchange your time for money is not a business, it's an employment. So just assume that you are self-employed. You don't really own a business. So if you need, or if you are the one who needs to keep working in the business as an employee, you are the sole, maybe you are making wigs, you are the sole hairstylist in the business, or you are offering services and you are the only person offering those services. After a while, how does your business grow? What is the scalability of the business? And how is your business going to be sustained? So, for example, there's a trend now where people travel to China and start selling all sorts of things. Like people who are known for selling clothes in Ghana or in Africa, they travel to China and all of a sudden they are selling fufu grinding machine and stuff like that. How sustainable is that business? Are you going to be able to travel to China every single month or every quarter to be able to supply the people that you sold to initially? Or is it a one-time thing? Is it something that you just dabbled in because it was in front of you? So it's something you really need to understand before you decide on a business idea. How sustainable is that business idea? If I invested my time and my money and my marketing efforts and I got customers, will I be able to retain them because my business is sustainable enough? And does my business look like it can scale beyond me? If I don't go to China, can I still get the tools and the products to be able to sell to my customers? It's very important for you to look at this before you decide to start a business. Finally, if you want to start a business, don't get stuck in research mode. Some people have been researching on their businesses for 5 years now without making any move. Last time I spoke about mindset shifts. move from the thinking and the sitting and the coasting mindset to the doing mindset. Get your ass up and get to work. Stop being stuck and also start. Start small. You don't have to start big. You don't need to travel to China just to start your business. You can start small. You don't need to compare yourself to other people. Start small. Make sure you test. Make sure you get feedback from people. Feedback is very important if you want to grow your business. So listen to your customers, listen to whatever they say, and whatever feedback you get from them. That is how you are going to be able to grow your business in the right direction. And of course, if you need accountability, you need mentorship, be sure to join the Growth Circle. We meet every Sunday at 6 p.m. We hold each other accountable. I give you business advice. I help you solve your business challenges. And it's a safe space where we can grow. We share our business ideas and everything. So if you are struggling, you definitely do need to join the Growth Circle. Since you are here, just hit the subscribe button. I know you are watching. You have been watching all my videos without subscribing. Don't do that. Join the family, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like this video and share it with somebody who is struggling, someone who is stuck and wants to start a business but doesn't know which business to start. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this. Bye.